Welcome back to another class on Evean HaEzer Halacha series. We are continuing in Siman Aleph Halacha Yud. This will be part 6 of the Shi'ur. Strongly suggest listen to part 5 of the Shi'ur, even if you already listened to it, just to get you into the momentum into listening today's Tur Zahav. Because the Tur Zahav is going to go back on everything what the Bash said in the opinion of the Rema. And the Tur Zahav is going to give us a different understanding in the Rema. So therefore, if you can, try to listen to part 5 and jump straight into part 6 so they go hand in hand. The Taz in Ot Tetvav says, V'chein ba'arusa, and so too by the Arusa. When the Shulchan Aruch said, V'chein ba'arusa, and so too by the Arusa, that the Cherem of Rabbeinu Gershom is not applicable, and the Rama came and he said, do you know what the Rama was telling us? The Rama was telling us that he's allowed to go ahead and get married to another woman before divorcing the Arusa. That's what he wants to say. Like this he's going to tell you. That's as long as he does not want to marry her, but rather he wants to divorce her, and he's allowed to go ahead and marry another woman. Why? Because there is no cherem of Rabbeinu Gershom. Let's see that inside. The Taz begins. Nira, it seems, Lefarish to explain, the Gam im ires isha, also in the situation where the guy went ahead and he did erusin, ve'en rotzel liknos ela liftora. He doesn't want to marry her, but rather he wants to divorce her. Mutar likach isha acheret kodem haget. He's allowed to take another woman prior to divorcing the Arusa. I just want you to pay close attention. The Shulchan Aruch says, V'chein ba'arusa im einu rotzeh liknos ela liftor. Comes the Taz and he tells you, now you're going to explain these words like this. Digam im ires isha. That also in a situation where he did erison with a woman, Ve'ein rotzeh liknos ela liftorah, and he doesn't want to marry but rather he wants to divorce her, Mutar likach isha acheret kod maget. You're allowed to go ahead and take another woman prior to divorcing her. The reason being is because there is no cherem of Rabbeinu Gershom on a arusa. How do we know this? Midikatav Maharik Sham. From what the Maharik wrote over there, the cherem Rabbeinu Gershom lo haya ki im shelo lisa isha acheret. Sorry, the cherem Rabbeinu Gershom lo haya ki im shelo lisa isha al ishto hanesuah. The cherem Rabbeinu Gershom was only applicable in a situation not to marry a woman on top of his married wife. Al ishto hanesuah. A very important word. Hanesuah. Not the arusa. The nesuah. Marrying a woman on top of a nesuah, that's where Rabbeinu Gershom made the cherem. But to come and tell me now that Rabbeinu Gershom went ahead and he made a cherem on the arusa, that we cannot say. So one more time, Rabotai. Midi katav Maharik Sham, from the fact that Maharik wrote over there, the cherem Rabbeinu Gershom lo haya ki'imu shelo litza isha al ishto nisuah, that the cherem Rabbeinu Gershom was only applicable not to marry a woman on top of his married wife, nisuah. Aval im lo nasa'a, but if he didn't marry her, mi yachrechenu lichtov la kituba ulitchayev b'sher kisud ve'ona im lo timtzachem beinav. Who's going to force him, the guy, to write for her a kituba and to obligate himself b'sher in food, kisud clothing, ve'ona in relations, im lo timtzachem beinav? If she's not going to find favor in his eyes, how are you going to obligate him to marry a woman that is not presentable in his eyes? Comes the Taz and he says like this. Davar pashudu lo kafinam. Again, all this is from the words of the Maharik. It's simple that we're not going to force him. Oh, 1 second. Comes out over here that if you have a guy, that if he didn't marry the Arusa, and the Bedin can't force him to marry her because she's not finding favor in his eyes, beautiful. It's pashut, you can't force him. So if that is the case, muchach mizeh is proven from this It's proven from this that this is not his wife from the strength of this erusin. Meaning from the laws of erusin, it's not his wife. Had it been his wife, they would have been able to force him. But since it's not his wife, they can't force him. Oh, 1 second. If you can force him, we see over here that what? Imken lo gazar Rabbeinu Gershom al zeh. If so, Rabbeinu Gershom never made a gezerah on this. Ana arusa. The lo gazar ila ala nisu'ah. He only made a gezerah on a married woman. El acher kach kofin oto liftor arusoto. Rather, afterwards, we're going to force him to divorce the arusa. Dehi kishurabo al kopanim mikoach ha'erusin. Because she's still attached to him, at the very least, through the strength of erusin, meaning through the laws of erusin. Udulo kibash, and not like the bash, shenichnas bedochak lefaresh beinin acher, that he entered with a lot of pressure, with a lot of how you say bedochak, with a lot of force to go ahead and try to fit the pshat in and learn it in a different way. Rabotai, what is the Taz telling us? The Taz is telling us like this. From the words of the Maharik, if I can't force the guy to get married to the Arusa, so you see that's not his wife. Oh, if it's not his wife, Rabbeinu Gershom's Cherem doesn't apply. Why? Because Rabbeinu Gershom's only applies to a wife that is a Nisu'ah, not to a wife that is a Arusa. Meaning to a wife that is completely married to him and not to a wife that is partially married to him. That is what the Taz wants to learn. The Taz wants to understand. When the Shulchan Aruch says V'chein ba'arusa, and say also by the Arusa that there's no Chen Rabbeinu Gershom, you have to learn like this. V'chein ba'arusa, and so too by the Arusa, im ein rotzeh liknos ela liftor. If he doesn't want to marry her, but rather he wants to divorce her, the Chen of Rabbeinu Gershom doesn't apply, and he's allowed to marry another woman. Since there's no Chen, he's allowed to marry another woman. That is the way the Taz wants to understand. Simple, clean. Rabotai, there's no back and forth.